focus on getting it good and clean and right. So off of neutral grips, we just dive into double unders. Some of the questions are, how do I get the double unders from different positions? Tons of different ways to get the double unders. Like I could be off of like a knee cut here, he blocks it or whatever, and just like come back in, like slide back in like that. I mean, it's just a ton of different ways to get to it. The biggest thing is don't leave yourself staggered, one arm in, one arm out. Imagine your hands are like handcuffed and they move together, so that you never get caught, one arm in, one arm out. So it doesn't matter how you enter it, where you enter it. Some of the reasons why I would enter it is if I'm trying to pass the guard, he's a good guard guy, I can't get around his open guard, he's making really good hooks, moving his hips really well, inverting, all that, I cannot pass it. So now it's time to try to smash through it. So that's one of the reasons why I try to do, like a double under pass. I don't know, maybe I'm tired. These things, I'm on the ground using my weight, I generally use a little less energy. I am jumping around like a rabbit trying to pass a guard. So those are a few of the reasons why I opt to go low smash instead of open quick, all right? So here, just super basic, super simple, broken grips, blah, blah, blah. Two arms in, two arms come in, knees drop to the floor at the same time, hit double unders. If there's no belt, I'll just grab the pants. This is a good example of I'm gonna just grab the pants. Either 4 fingers in the waistbands or just grab the outside of the pants. Neither of them matter, right? But John was smart enough and he knew that he saw double unders coming, so he dropped his feet to the floor. So he's heavy, so I can't stack him. His legs are over my arms, which is bad for me, good for him. If I got here, like this, now this is bad for him, good for me. Now he has to open my arms up and create that pressure and drop it on my arms. So that's why I'm gonna do this pass. If I dive in for double unders, and if I just get what I want, like if I just dive in like this and I lock him up here and I pull him up on the shelf and I start smashing here, I'm not gonna go for the over-under pass. I don't have to. I'm just gonna smash him from here and just pass old school. But now he saw that coming and he did this. So now his legs are over my biceps. So now I can't do that anymore. And he's gonna keep his legs open, and getting his legs on my shoulders is gonna be next to impossible against a guy who knows what he's doing. So now here's where I'm gonna go into my over-under. He shut one door, but another one open. So we're holding onto the pants here or the belt. I generally don't like to hold lapels for this one because there's just too much movement. I like to have a solid grip on something around his waist, right? So now we're just gonna do like a sit-through, like that. Notice how I sat off of him. My head is here, not in line with his head anymore. Chest down. This is really safe. Nothing can happen to me from here. I'm not gonna get triangled, I'm not gonna get choked. Worst case scenario, I just rewind and just go back to where I was. If I don't like something, I just go right back where I was. Super low risk, right? So sit through, smash that leg. His leg should be basically parallel to the floor, as close to as it can be, given my arm is underneath his leg. Now 3 things happening at once. My arm, my head, and my leg are all happening simultaneously. My right leg steps over, my right arm comes out and comes over to the outside of the knee, grabbing the pants, and my head goes to where my left hand is, over on his hip. So those 3 things have to happen at the same exact time. So we're here for right now. This is my starting position. Head down, pressure. So 1 comes over, 2 comes over, 3. That's all at the same time. I want to get my shoulder right underneath like his floating rib, the soft part of his stomach. And I want to be smashing through his stomach, controlling the hips. I don't want to have it in the rib cage. I don't want my head on the mat. My head should be hovering off the mat just slightly. All my weight should be going into him. I want to be on my tippy toes, my butt in the air, trying to make as close to an A-frame as I can. I want to be driving through him. I don't want to overextend myself and put my base, like fold myself like this, and then I topple over the top. Like you have to find like that, balance point. I'm giving him pressure, but I'm not going to just get flipped over the top. So this arm here, the one that comes over the leg, I grab the outside of the pants like this, and I'm keeping this leg in between my legs. I want to keep it there. Because if I come up and I have no grip, he puts that back, and now look where we are. I'm in like a potential triangle situation. I have a problem here. My arm can get caught. There's a whole bunch of things that can go wrong from there. So this arm is doing an important thing. It's keeping his leg between my legs. So here, I come up. It just holds his legs there. Now from here, John's gonna have his leg up because he knows I want to step over his leg. So he's gonna try to keep his leg high in between my legs so that I can't just step over, right? So I have to walk it back, change the angle on him like that. So you see I walk back in line with him, and now this comes down and it builds this shelf. This is important. I put his leg up so he cannot use this leg anymore to get his guard back. It's just like a leg drag. See, it's the same idea as a leg drag. I isolate this leg. I'm just here now. Just literally just a 3 degrees difference. But this is what I do. I isolate this so he can't move his, for him to elbow escape, he has to get this leg on the floor. It's elevated, he can't do it. So now that we're here and here, I tie into the head first. This arm will come and go to replace my leg, and then my leg can go away. And I have a nice tight pass right to side control. Okay? One more time. We've done this a few times now. It should look familiar to everybody. And then we'll work on the whole sequence. We can do the whole thing. We do counters and all. And then when you guys go, you guys can just roll through with each other. So I'm not going to break and show every little piece of show all now. Just work through them. So here, dive in, hit the pants, head down nice and low. I don't want to be here because then he's just going to put his legs in front of me and push off and problems. Just get down low. Here. Right? Head down. Here. 1, 2, 3 at the same time. I'm already walking square. Step over, build, tie in, pass.
I got a random question, Jay. When you're sitting in side control, do you like keeping your left arm like hooked on that side, or do you like going over and kicking it back into it? What's easier to hold a guy?
This. It depends on what I want to do. Like, depends on the scenario. Like, so what you're saying is put my hand here?
Do you like that position more than your left arm over, like crunching him into you?
Yeah, it depends on what I want to do. Generally, like, so if this knee is here, then I can have my hand over here. If this knee is not in the picture, then I want my hand there. I always want to have something blocking his hip or his leg. So if I'm in side control, for instance, like this, right? If I'm here, this hand is here now, but look at my knee. It's on his hip. So I have a point of contact.
A little bit.
If I'm in, let's say I switch it up or something, and I'm like this for whatever reason, then my hand will be here. Because this leg is back, so I put my hand there. Just depends on what you want to do. There's no right or wrong. It's just a situation. Okay, so side control, over under. We're gonna hit an over under counter. So we're gonna roll through them all. The best way to do this, to counter this, is when it's happening, right? So he comes in. So right here is as John's coming over, I make this wall right here with my arm. Do you see how my hand and my bicep is kind of on the top of his head? I never let his head fall into that pocket by his arm. I block it so he can never establish that. Now once I have this, it's time to go. I'm gonna plant this arm, I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna start popping my hips out like an elbow escaping that way, and I'm gonna push with this arm over my body. Just move his whole body here. Like that, and then I'm out. And then he'll probably repose. So let's go off the low. So start low with everything on the same side. So he's in position, I have my legs here, he comes here. I catch him right there because I know he's going into it. So see how he never got his head fully seated down here? So it's a small difference, but it's a big difference. His head's here now. I can't do what I just did. Put your head back slightly. Come back. Catch his head. Now he can't put his head in that pocket. I'm controlling. I grip his armpit. I anchor to his armpit, just like that. All right. So I'm making this little claw grip in his armpit, 4 fingers in, and it does not go away. That's my anchor point. That's what's going to keep his head with me. Face out, big hips out that way as I violently throw him this way. I move away. See how that never moved? He can't go through my arm. If I keep his head here, he can't come through it. All right, so that's the best way to stop it. Option 2 is if he beats me to it. So here, over under, he did everything right. He did it really good. He beat me to the punch. His head's buried in that pocket. I can't just simply, see if I grab his armpit, his head's underneath my arm. It doesn't work anymore. How do I get his head out of there? All right, so I'm gonna I have to buy myself some time. Hopefully he doesn't pass quickly. Find his chin, and I'm gonna bump my hips. If he he has his hand on my hip. I'm gonna bump my hips, and I'm gonna drop my elbow as his head elevates. So his head comes up, I fold my arm in, and then I should have that little pocket that I just created. So here, you see how we're there again? Right there, that's it. Now his head is mine again. Now we're good to go. Same exact escape. Plant, plant, big hips, big push. You keep going until you're out. He's gonna keep driving. I'm gonna keep popping and moving my hips, and eventually I'm gonna get ahead of him because he's gonna lose his base. He's gonna drop to his knees, and he loses that forward pressure. And then I'm out. Okay. Finally. So if you haven't been here for a few weeks, this is a lot of information. But finally, what we're gonna do here is the guy's in over and under, and I'm exhausted. He's way bigger, stronger than me. I can't get the head. I'm stuck. I'm like, shit, he's gonna pass. All right, so I'm gonna take these lapels. This is gi only, obviously. All these other ones could work gi and no gi. This final one is gonna be gi only. Take out his lapel, pass it to that hand, put it here, hold the hip, buy myself some time. This foot's probably gonna be eaten up. This leg is very mobile. So I'll put it on the floor. If I have to create the hip angle, I'll put it, and put this in there, right here. Now, two things are gonna happen. He's either gonna continue to pass, he's gonna step over, when I sweep over the top, and I get my side control, or he's gonna back out. So option one is that he does not care about me having his grip or this hook on his lapels. This is just a spider hook, just a lapel. That's all it is. It's all, I'm treating it just like a spider hook. So option two is maybe he feels that I'm trying to pull him over the top. Maybe he doesn't, and he backs out. He backs out to a triangle. Worst case scenario, if none of the above work, if I don't get the sweep, I don't get the triangle. Let's say he's super huge, he has big super base or whatever. If he starts passing and I can't sweep, I can't do anything, I can still turn the angle, just get my guard back. He can't pass if I have that lapel grip because he can't lock my hips down. So if nothing else, you won't get past. So on that last sequence one more time, we'll do two options. So here, too big, too strong, I can't get the head, I'm exhausted, whatever. Or on this